A PC has the IP address 192.168.28.150. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.192. It is configured to use the default gateway IP 192.168.28.128. Why is it not able to access the internet? Now, at first, this seems like a connectivity troubleshooting issue, and maybe it is a connectivity troubleshooting issue. But in questions like this, that you might see in a Network Plus exam or something similar in a CCNA exam, the first thing you have to check is that the IP address of the PC is on the same subnet as the default gateway IP. The default gateway IP is the IP address of the router. The IP of the PC and the IP of the router have to be on the same subnet. What could have happened is that whoever configured the PC accidentally configured the wrong IP address on the PC, and therefore the IP that's been assigned to the PC is not on the same subnet as the router. So this is actually, if I could rephrase this question, the question is 192.168.28.150 on the same subnet as 192.168.28.128? The next problem that you could have here is that either one of these IP addresses are not valid because it's either a network ID or it's a directed broadcast IP. So the next thing we have to do is figure out if these IPs are valid. We can do all of this in one shot. These two IPs were derived from a subnetting process that subnetted 192.168.28 with the subnet mask 255.255.255.192. So what we have to do is subnet that network ID and then look at where these two IP addresses lie within the range of network IDs. 192.168.28 and I'll write the last octet out as X's. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.192. Now we know what 255 in binary is. It's 8 ones. 192 is 1, 1, and the rest are zeros. So this 255 is covering the first octet. This is covering the second octet. This is covering the third octet. And 192 is covering the first 2 bits of the last octet. These 2 bits are your subnet bits. This bit, therefore, is the subnet bit with the lowest value. It is therefore our increment value. The increment value here is 64. Therefore, our network IDs that were derived from this process are 192.168.28.0, the original one. This is where those 2 subnet bits are 0. Then we have 192.168.28.64. Then we have 192.168.28.128. 64 plus 64 is 128. Then we have 192.168.28.192. The IPs in question are .150 and .128. .150 lies between .128 and .192. The default gateway was .128, and oh, look at this. .128 is actually a network ID. So this is why they're having problems. The PC has a valid IP of .150, but somebody goofed up and gave the router the network ID as its IP. What they probably wanted to do was give the router the first IP address in the .128 network, which should have been .129.